Good morning to the Premier and your staff. As per request, my team and I have conducted research surrounding the benefits and challenges behind religious diversity within the state of Victoria. I have thoroughly explored various data and research from domestic and internationally recognized reports, poking at the issues regarding immigration, social cohesion, and globalization. These issues are linked with government initiatives that attempt to advocate Victoria. The appeal for diversification has, however, caused an uproar of issues. Conflicts regarding racial, ethnic, and religious exclusivism have risen not only through the general community, but also within various workplaces and institutes. The stance on immigration is within the Scanlon Foundation Mapping Social Cohesion Survey. The public opinion has found that the Australian culture has developed into a country known for its multiculturalism, therefore endorsing it as an immigration nation. 82% of the population agree that immigrants improve Australian society by bringing new ideas and culture. The same survey a later year demonstrates that racism against globalization has also decreased. 71% of surveyed civilians responded by saying that growing economic ties between Australia and other countries is good for the country. They display their understanding towards the importance of economic ties with international countries. The Challenging Racism Project found that high levels of negativity were found around racism. 49% of Australians were anti-Muslim and 28% were anti-Indigenous. Around half of the Australian community had at least some racist thoughts against Muslims. They also had these thoughts due to the lack of trust in people from the Middle East, as it is found that neighbourhoods with high ethnic diversity were economically disadvantaged. The inputs made included, you can't be too careful in dealing with people. Victoria's Stockdale Research Project has taken initiative against racism towards religion. The government has promoted the value of social cohesion and tolerance towards cultural diversity and thus has helped educate them on the consequences behind violent extremism. Support systems for the youth allows for them to be educated, therefore giving students the chance to have a safer space in schools, particularly for those from diverse backgrounds. Ongoing support from various multi-faith groups to embrace one another and to influence their communities to adhere to their religious inclusivism has been achieved over the years. Their main objective is to aim to strengthen cultural diversity in Victoria through consultation, celebration, and promotion. This has developed settlement and peace within the communities between multi-faith religions and society. This religious influence from their leaders has also allowed for those under religious influence to feel more comfortable in their communities as they begin to see it as a common aspect of life. This ideally bonds communities and unites them as one. The Victorian government has made themselves responsible for establishing policies to rule out any pessimism towards religious diversity by encouraging their slogans to not only youth but also the older. They want to ensure that Victorians enjoy the social, cultural, and economic benefits of a dynamic and diverse society. The initiatives introduced include $15 million to assist new arrivals to learn English and find a job. The positive reinforcement motivates immigrants to feel a part of society. The scheme is renowned within nationally accredited policies, promoting the scheme, we don't just tolerate diversity, we embrace it. Institutes within the state and country follow backlash from the idea of religious diversity, as it has been found that they do not have the appropriate sources to cater for various religious students and staff. The relevant facilities are not being provided within some institutes, making it hard for them to assimilate within their university communities. This issue continuing to prevail will not only be a hardship for students, but also their peers, as they are not aware of the religious diversity that should be implemented. Policies and procedures are an essential element in creating an easygoing multicultural environment. This is because without them, religious needs are not prioritized and workplaces do not become a welcoming environment. Evidence has seen that a workplace will suffer without religious diversity as productivity and performance are not being achieved. When religious practices have been acknowledged, such as religious clothing, it is turned into a negative aspect, saying dress code guidelines have not been followed. Therefore, this misunderstanding and resentment within the workplace is inevitable without the necessary policies and procedures. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the benefits and challenges for religious diversity, and hopefully, the right actions will be taken to assist the issue.